Hey everybody, how are you? It's Peter again for MLB Trade Rumors and Discussions. It's Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. Keeping this going every single day for the rest of the year, just like I promised you guys. So, today is just a beautiful day when it comes to terms of baseball and just pitchers and catchers reporting. And all us baseball fans know that spring training is coming up next week and the season is right around the corner. So, it's a wonderful time for us baseball fans. And today I really want to talk about two big things, right? One, I want to talk about the Diamondbacks and what I seen, which was wonderful. And number two, I want to talk about the new rule change, the main one. So let's talk about first the Diamondbacks. What I seen was two things, and I've talked about this the whole time, but I wasn't aware of one of them. Let's start with me. The more important one is Robbie Ray. He is 15 pounds lighter. He looks great. I mean, if you see how, just appearance wise, and why is that important? The number one thing for me is because of his back. And he's always having problems how he's pitching, and he's always getting the high pitch count, which always causes injuries. And I think losing weight is going to help him. I know he knows he's going to go into a free agent year, which is great for the Diamondbacks because usually pitchers going into the free agent year, they start pitching well. So the Diamondbacks have two options with this guy. If he pitches great, we're going to go with him throughout the season. And if he doesn't, then you know what? Probably either going to get rid of him or we have backup. But I feel he's due for this year. He's going to probably pitch terrific. Everything points to signs of him having a bounce back year. And even Torrey said it, like if he does, the Diamondbacks are just going to easily win over 90 games and it's going to be a great year. So that's what I noticed first. And the second one, which is something we always talked about, is Madison Bumgarner and a lot of the players were just like, they couldn't wait to see him and how big, and him being there just changes everything. You got a leader. Greinke was great, but he wasn't like a leader because he was very quiet and everything. Bumgarner, not so much. Bumgarner's going to call you out, a big guy. It's going to be wonderful, and everyone's just looking at him. They probably couldn't wait to see him. I know Archie Bradley said that. So that's great, right? You got the leader in the clubhouse that you needed. The pitching, it's just everything is going to be perfect. It's just so far wonderful for us Diamondback fans. But let's talk about a couple of the rule changes, right? The a little bit lesser one is that it goes from 25 to 26 in the roster, which is great. You never know when you need an extra guy, especially the Diamondbacks like to carry a couple of catchers, like 3 catchers. You never know. I think Hicks may do really well if they, just in case somebody gets hurt. I like a guy like him. You never know if they want to stay in the outfield. And, I love having LeCastro on the team. So if he was given a spot, we'll see if Rojas now gets it out. It's all going to be about spring training. Having that extra spot is great. They could give it to a pitcher. You don't know. There's a lot of, it all depends on spring training. But what I want to talk about is the minimum 3 batter rule for a pitcher coming in. And I honestly love this rule because it does suck for me when a lefty comes in just to pitch to a lefty, right? I mean, it's okay. I'm not saying, but I love the rule because now it makes for an interesting thing, right? A lot of those guys' jobs a little bit different now. So why is that important? Because the Diamondbacks especially have switch hitters and they have lefty-righty matchups because with Christian Walker, Peralta, and then you have Calhoun. You got 2 lefties sandwiched with a righty in there, right? You got Marte and Escobar who can be a switch hitter, and that's great. So between those guys and Starling Marte, who's a righty, you can mess around all around there. But those top 6, it's going to be very hard to pitch, right? And it's not going to be the same getting a lefty specialist in there, which I really enjoy. And then if a righty, let's go the opposite way, if a righty comes in who's dominant and then doesn't want to pitch to a lefty, well, then he has no choice, right? Then he has to either pitch around him, and that makes it for interesting, especially if we have a switch hitter. It's just makes the game more interesting, and I like it. I like that they're trying to do different things. So to me, that's a great thing, and it definitely benefits teams who are not just left-handed like all the way, or at least have majority of them left-handed, or the other way, majority right-handed, right? Like the Dodgers last year had a lot of lefties, and sometimes that works out really well, sometimes it doesn't. Really depends on who you're playing in the matchup. But now the Dodgers were getting Mookie Betts, that helped them a lot. But just as a Diamondback fan, I like it. I like the move. I like the thing. I like that they changed the challenge to 20 seconds. That's another one. A lot of these rules that baseball's doing, They need to keep it up. They need to keep speeding up the game. And then also, I like that they changed the rule where, unless it's like a 6-run thing, where guys who can't come in and pitch from the out, who is not a position, who's a position player. Because I've seen that recently, like last year, where the game looked like it was only like a 4-run, 5-run game, and then they were bringing in guys because they wanted to save their bullpen. And one, for fantasy-wise, that sucks, because then the team goes, and then you're kind of taking your game right out, right? So if you're down by 4 or 5 and you really feel that you're not going to get back in the game, so you're bringing another, and then everyone beefs up their stats because the second baseman's pitching or something. It's insane. I don't like that. I just like baseball is trying to fix that, and I tip my hat to them because I think that's a wonderful thing. But anyway, guys, it's this exciting time. Baseball's back, and can't wait till next week because spring training starts next week. It's just going to be great. And, you don't look too much into it, right? Please don't. I've watched the Diamondbacks come out in spring training and dominate one year, and then they suck in the season. So this don't mean anything, right? No, nothing means anything. It's just guys getting warmed up and just getting ready, especially a guy like Bumgarner, who I know doesn't take spring training seriously. He's just looking to get ready. So it's just the fact that this is here. It's so exciting, and I can't wait. It's good to look forward to a season and start talking shit with everybody and having a good time. Talk to you guys soon. Let me know what you think. Bye.